Let her go. She's worth more gone, my father told the doctor while I lay in a coma. I heard it all, even if I didn't move. Even as the monitors beeped a rhythm I couldn't answer, I heard him sign the papers. Do not resuscitate, he whispered to no one. But the lawyers and the nurses, too, cowardly to question him. My insurance, my life. He thought he'd won before I even woke up. When I finally opened my eyes, the room was sterile, white, suffocating. My father's smile froze mid-gesture. On a screen, my lawyer had been live streaming. His every deceit. He didn't know I could see. And for the first time in years, I didn't speak. I just watched. I remember the first time I met him, my father. Not the man who tried to bury me, but the one I trusted. I was 19, naive, certain that love and family meant safety. He held my hand at school recitals, celebrated my college admissions, promised me the world. He was my anchor, and I loved him, blindly. Then the signs began, subtle at first. A late-night phone call he pretended I hadn't overheard. A whispered conversation that ended when I entered the room. Financial statements tucked away, pages marked with red ink I hadn't noticed. I didn't confront him. I collected evidence. I observed, detached, careful. The betrayal had to hurt. But not yet. Not until it counted. The confirmation came in a folder labeled urgent, emails, signatures, my life reduced to numbers and policies. My father, the man who swore he'd protect me, had plotted to erase me for profit. And I realized something cold and precise. Vengeance isn't about rage. It's about strategy, timing, exploiting. Every weakness, they trust you'll never see. I began to plan. I traced his finances, his network, the hidden partnerships he assumed I'd never uncover. I contacted my lawyer, a sharp-minded woman who saw not just the law, but the theater of exposure. Together we moved like ghosts through his empire. One meeting, one signed contract, one carefully placed rumor at a time. Each step was deliberate. I didn't call him. I didn't hint. I didn't tremble. I built a web he could not escape. I transferred funds, triggered audits, exposed shell companies. I watched the numbers collapse on him, but I waited. Patience is a blade. The sharper it is, the deeper it cuts. Then came the day I returned to him. Hospital gown exchanged for tailored black, hair pulled back, eyes steady. He smiled as I approached, smug. You're awake, he said. Relief? Pride? Perhaps both. He didn't notice the ledger in my hand, the lawyer in the corner, the silent army of evidence ready to erase him. I spoke only once. A question, soft and deliberate. Do you know what you just lost? He laughed. A father's laugh, or the echo of it. Insurance money, freedom, everything you could have. I let him finish. The lawsuit, the public exposure, the financial collapse, all planned to execute at this exact moment. He understood nothing until the auditors called, until the bank froze his accounts, until the partners he'd deceived turned on him in real time. He stumbled backward, face pale, lips trembling. I don't understand, he whispered. His empire, built on greed and manipulation, unraveled in hours. He had been careful, cunning, ruthless, but I had been quieter, smarter. Each step he thought was safe had been mapped against me. I walked out before he could scream. I didn't gloat. I didn't need to. The collapse was louder than any words I could have spoken. In the parking lot, I felt the weight lift, not vengeance as a burden, but justice as a release. Later, I sat alone in my apartment, hands wrapped around a mug of coffee. The monitors, the lawyers, the numbers, they were all gone. Only silence remained. I thought of my father, bankrupt, humiliated, stripped of the power he'd clung to like a second skin, and I thought of me, alive, untouched by the chaos he tried to impose. I learned something in those months of planning. Strength doesn't roar. It observes. It calculates. It waits for the precise moment to act, and when it does, it's unstoppable. I don't miss him. I don't mourn him. I mourn the father I thought I had, the man who promised protection, who whispered love while plotting my erasure. And I honor the woman I became in his absence, patient, precise, unshakable. Justice isn't about shouting. It's about watching the world turn until those who thought themselves untouchable fall exactly where they deserve. I didn't speak to him again. Why would I? The silence is louder than any revenge. In the end, I realized something sharper than any loss. Freedom tastes sweeter when it's earned in the quiet aftermath of betrayal. And I earned it.